Welcome to Sao Paulo, the largest city in Brazil.
Made it to Sao Paulo, got 2 hours for my English class. Let's explore.
I have made it to Sao Paulo and checked into my hotel and we're ready to explore.
The weather's not great, it's drizzling outside. I'm just looking for something interesting. I'm trying to find a supermarket.
Whenever I go to a new city, I need to figure out the food situation. I try to cook one meal and eat out for one meal. So the first stop's the supermarket.
So you may be wondering how I can walk around a city that I don't entirely speak the language and that I don't know by myself. And the answer is, I just think about all the things that are gonna go well. I don't try to think about anything negative happening. Bad things can happen anywhere. I mean, yeah, maybe it's more likely in a place you don't understand, but try to think about the good in people. And it's so much more fun. Let me know if you would explore a city by yourself.
The great thing about finding the nearest supermarket is you get to familiarize yourself with the city a little bit and find some landmarks so you don't always have to be pulling out your phone to get back.
Today's my first full day in Sao Paulo and I don't really have any plans, so I'm gonna go get lost and try to find the Chinatown, the large Chinatown evidently here, which should be nice and get some good food.
So welcome to Liberdage, and you can see you've got into the neighborhood by the lamppost.
I'm not gonna get anything, but just being here makes me so happy and looking at all the different sauces.
I love going to Asian markets in New York City, and you don't know how happy seeing gochujang and laogam made me feel. Now, Liberdage is as much a Chinatown as they have a lot of influence from Japan.
I live near Chinatown, and I love all this stuff.
I also really enjoyed looking at all these Asian vegetables, especially the mushrooms. It's difficult to find really good mushrooms in Brazil. Now, I am a window shopper. I didn't actually get anything, but seeing the Asian supermarkets made me feel good.
I miss H-Mart. I need H-Mart in Brazil.
Sao Paulo has a large Japanese population because there was a wave of migrants that came in the early 20th century to Sao Paulo, and they actually have the largest Japanese population outside of Japan. As a professional window shopper, I loved looking at all these figurines and exploring the supermarkets and all the different types of sodas that they would have that I don't normally see. I have never seen this many flavors of
Time for
Fanta.
some lunch. I don't know why I'm so hungry. It's only 11:30, but I had a big breakfast. Oh, a couple eggs and some tapioca and a banana. It's pretty big for not free breakfast at a hostel, but yeah, this place is supposed to be really good. There are lots of Japanese restaurants. We're gonna find one that fits my budget. That was delicious. Time to walk to the center. I have no idea where I'm going, but it should be something. I think it's a market. I've never been kicked out of a restaurant before. Not kicked out, but I tried to eat the slowest I ever had. And I sat there for 1 hour eating, which, you know, if you know me, that's incredible. I eat as fast as possible. And I tried to really savor and enjoy it. And then when I finished, like, yeah, we got people waiting. I'm like, thanks for letting me finish and not rushing me. I ate longer than like the 3 people next to me, and I've never done that. So yeah. And also, since I was eating by myself, I really wanted to enjoy it and enjoy my own company. So without my phone, I tried to be as slow as possible. It's a big deal for me, you know. I think in society in the United States, it's frowned upon a lot of the times to eat alone. And I don't know why. I guess it's looked down upon because people think you don't have friends, or it doesn't make a difference. If you enjoy eating alone, go fucking do it. Being here just makes me want to go to Japan now too. Walking through this area makes me realize how much I miss Chinatown back home. I love that place in there every single day. I worked at a Chinese restaurant.
I love walking around cities because then you can find little things that you would never find otherwise, like this little garden that really had no place to sit, but you can watch koi fish while standing, which I like watching koi fish.
Well, that was underwhelming.
So this is the main square of Liberdage, and it's lined with food vendors who can get delicious lunches, and then around the plaza there's lots of these Asian supermarkets. But I'm going to keep going past as I'm going to try to get to the central market of Sao Paulo. And I passed by this church that felt like it was out of Harry Potter, and then past the church you get to Plaza. And this is starting to get more towards the downtown of Sao Paulo.
A lot of these older men wearing these yellow vests that say they want to buy gold and different things. They look really dejected, and I feel really bad about that. I don't really know what's going on. Across this is definitely a different place. Gotta watch my phone.
You can see one of these guys here just sitting with the gold vest. The downtown is more the historical center of the city. It is now a little more run down as people have expanded outside of it. There have been people who told me not to go to this area of this city.
There are a couple of these places I've seen like that where they sell these like meat sandwiches for $5, like $1, and have free juice, which is crazy to me. Found the cheap area. I don't know where the fuck I am. Made it to the market. Hope it's good. Had to walk through some dicey areas. If you're not comfortable, don't keep anything on. You can take Ubers, but someone who walks everywhere you don't necessarily know what neighborhoods you're going to go through.
So I finally made it to the Central Market. The Central Markets in most cities are my favorite places because they're chock full of vendors selling spices, hot sauces, nuts. I mean, it just smells amazing. The fruit is as fresh as possible. And then usually there are some really great places to eat as well. And depending on the market, you can find some cheap places, some expensive places. This market, they were more expensive. But I just love to get lost in these labyrinths and have as much fun sampling items and the smells. Woo!
These fruit vendors are sales people. They will invite you over, cut open the fruits, let you try every single fruit. I mean, they're delicious. And then I feel guilty for not buying anything. But they're very good salespeople.
Evidently, I was actually very lucky that they didn't charge me just for sampling the foods because they have been known to do that to tourists. That information comes from a local, not me, don't worry. And then these places were expensive, but they looked really good. And the food was massive.
I'm one block from the metro, got caught in the right? So I'm out for a walk today. Today's my busy day. I've been trying to teach English, make a little bit of money online, teaching online classes. It's kind of difficult sometimes. We're improving though. It's definitely getting better. I have a break. I have 4 classes today. My busy day was supposed to be 5. Someone canceled. But yes, now I'm walking to a park.
So this is Parque Ibirapuera, and this honestly might be my favorite place in the entirety of Sao Paulo. One of the coolest things they had was a natural gym. These weights, they were all free and they were all made from recycled products. And they have plenty of places where you can sit, relax with friends, eat a picnic, read a book. It's a good time. They also have a skate park here. I enjoy watching that, and a basketball court. And I played and I got absolutely cooked. The next day I went on a free walking tour, well, the tip-based ones, and if you've never been on one, they are the absolute best to go on. They're usually local guides. The guide this time was amazing, and they tell you lots of historical facts, which I always forget, but they take you to the coolest places in the city, like the most important places. This walking tour was for the downtown area. It also was raining, and I only had a sweater, and my hard-headed ass did not buy a rain jacket or anything. Because, like, why would I need to do that?
Do you want to try some?
Avenida Paulista is one of the most important avenues in Sao Paulo, and every Sunday they shut down the avenue for it to be only pedestrians. And look, I am on the big screen, woohoo! But seriously, on Sundays they have lots of musical performances, lots of vendors. This day wasn't the best day, so there wasn't as many people, but it's supposed to be jam-packed at times, and you do have to be a little bit careful when you're there. Also, in Paulista is the Museum of Art, which is where you'll see all the postcards from, and it's this building on the left with the red. It's supposed to be really nice, and then they have a nice plaza that you can chill in and just see a little bit of the city and have the graffiti on the tops of the buildings. I was also really lucky that my friend Vinicius, who's from Sao Paulo, is able to take me around and show me Paulista on the Sunday. And if you have the opportunity to go on a Sunday, I recommend it, and there are places that give walking tours of it because I think it's an important business street. So this fancy McDonald's was the 1000th McDonald's in Sao Paulo, and then we started people dancing in front of it, and I just had to join in. By this point, after perusing the vendors, I was getting kind of hungry. So my friend Vinicius took me to Calçadagem Urbanoide, I think it's called, and that's on Rua Agosto, and they had all this really cool graffiti and tons of food vendors. Out of all the options, I caught a Jamaican restaurant, and I was talking to the owner, and it's the only Jamaican restaurant in Brazil, or vendor, and that's pretty cool, and it's really nice to see other people's cultures. And coming from New York, we love Jamaican food. I always want to go to Jamaica. It's gonna be awesome. But this place had literally every cuisine in the world, and a lot of people actually were telling me how Sao Paulo reminds me, there's Vinicius.
So that's Avenida Paulista. They shut it down on Sundays for only to be pedestrians, but I guess because of the weather today, it's not quite as poppin' as usual. But still pretty fun.
Back to what I was saying, a lot of people were telling me how Sao Paulo is like the New York City of Brazil. And while there are very obvious differences, these are very much working cities. And a lot of massive cities are very similar.
The last thing I think I need to do in Sao Paulo is go to Beco du Batman, which is where all the graffiti is, or at least it's famous for graffiti. So we're gonna try and see.
However, one big difference, and Paulistas are very proud of this, is their metro is a lot fucking cleaner than in New York City. I gotta say, Eric, can we please do something about that? I mean, in Sao Paulo, it's spotless. Anyways, it's not fair to compare two amazing cities. Sao Paulo is so unique and beautiful in its own way that comparing the two really doesn't do it justice. But when you travel in a lot of big cities, you will get similarities. And this is Beco du Batman. This is the last place I'm visiting in Sao Paulo. I really wanted to go here because they have such beautiful street art. and the labyrinth that you can get lost in and just discover new things. And you can do professional ass photo shoots here. There were people doing that. There's also a samba band. You could sit and have a drink. I mean, it really is a vibe. People were dressed to the tent, and as a traveler, I really don't have the type of fits to do a professional photo shoot.
It's my first time on the bus. All buses are free on Sundays. So if you in Sao Paulo, take the bus on Sundays.
Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I'm gonna show you my favorite restaurant.
That was so weird. They got my favorite restaurant here. Yo, they got Taco Bell. They got Taco Bell in Sao Paulo. I could live here.